guys, what's up? This week is another Top 5 Wednesday week, and it is time for some spooky reads. As you can see by my wonderful Totoro costume, this week's topic for Top 5 Wednesday is books that you would choose to recommend for Halloween. And I was super excited for this topic until I realized that most of my Halloween books are back at my house where my parents are, and not at my house where college is. Oops. Number 5 on my Top 5 Wednesday list this week is Supernatural: The War of Sons, which is a book based off of the Supernatural television show. And of course, Supernatural is going to make my list. I mean, it deals with all sorts of scary, creepy, frightening, freaking terrifying monsters. And I am a huge Super Hulock fan, so if I get the chance to recommend any of the Supernatural books, I will definitely 100% do so. At number 4 on my Top 5 Wednesday list is Patient Zero, which I was skeptical about when I picked up, but this book was absolutely wonderful and amazing. This book deals with a zombie outbreak, and what's Halloween without some zombies? Let's be real now. This book does have a sequel, I believe, and while I wasn't a huge fan of the sequel, I thought that the first book in the series was awesome. I loved the writing style. I loved the way the zombies were presented as a disease. It was just awesome. So definitely check that one out if you get the chance. Coming in at number 3 on my list is Carrie by Stephen King. This book is actually on my TBR list this month, and I just finished it, and I loved it. I've seen both of the Carrie movies. I decided to finally pick up the book, and this book was, as all Stephen King books are in terms of horror, absolutely freaking terrifying. I love the main character, Carrie. I really enjoy King's writing style and the way that he presents horror in a way that's real, but not at the same time. So you can believe how frightening and scary and absolutely terrifying this book is supposed to make you feel, because some of the situations hit a little bit closer to home than you would like. At number 2 on my list this week is The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know how to describe Edgar Allan Poe without just terror, and Halloween, and murder, and all of the things that are represented in The Telltale Heart. For those of you who don't know what The Telltale Heart is about, The Telltale Heart is a short story by Edgar Allan Poe focusing on a man who murders someone and then hides them beneath the floorboards, and all the while can hear the beating of their heart because of his guilty conscience. And as the story goes, the beating gets louder and louder and louder and louder, and causes this man to go insane, and the story is just beyond words. I love Edgar Allan Poe. Coming in at number 1 on my list this week is, if you haven't guessed it yet, another Edgar Allan Poe! And this one is The Pit and the Pendulum by Edgar Allan Poe, and once again, absolutely horrifying, but brilliant, and one of my favorite Edgar Allan Poe stories of all time. I love that he takes something that probably wouldn't be terribly frightening, like a pendulum, people getting, like, basically cut to bits. It's something that we see a lot in horror things nowadays, but his story takes it to a whole new level and makes you feel the horror of the person sitting there staring at the pendulum, waiting for death. And it just is mind-boggling how much fear and anxiety and all around just magnificent writing this man puts into his stories. If you haven't read Edgar Allan Poe, I highly suggest it, and any of his poems, any of his short stories, anything he has written, definitely go pick it up because it is magnificent. So that is it for my Top 5 Wednesday this week. Hopefully I will see you guys again next week with some awesome Top 5 Wednesdays for the month of November. Holy crap, November's around the corner. How did it get to be November already? I don't even know. Oh. Otherwise, until next time, guys,